Warning, the following contains material that may be too disturbing to some people. Descriptions of violence, mature situations, and adult themes. This is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Need to write it down and start telling myself now, or otherwise when we first meet you're gonna get bowled over immediately.
Yeah, alright, we are live. Welcome to Broken episode 15.
Hello.
We're a little late, but we're here. We're ready
Just a little.
We're ready to have game and see what kind of craziness these folks get into today. How are you all doing? You guys have any crazy stories from this week besides the Evil Dead game and Trombone Jam?
Well, there goes both of my stories, Sam.
Well, let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's fine. We don't have to.
Wow, way to single one person out.
Mariachi trombone.
So
I'm feeling a little targeted.
We were checking out this Trombone Jam game before the stream. It's hilarious. It's so funny.
It's totally not a Nintendo ripoff.
It totally doesn't say nasty when you do really bad.
The poor little me ripoff doesn't totally look like he's about to fall over from passing out.
Yeah.
Lack of oxygen.
I played trombone in high school. Sometimes it actually be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust me, I know.
I played the clarinet, so.
Oh, ew.
Flute.
What the fuck you mean?
Saxophone.
Ew?
Yeah, I was on saxophone.
Trumpet.
Ew.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right, Dank.
Dude, we can start a brass band.
Round down.
I was saxophone too.
I haven't played the
Yeah,
trombone in like 6 years.
saxophone. I
Saxophone,
loved
what's up?
saxophone.
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't played it in years, but I still got one somewhere. One or two. I think I got
I
have my
do as well, but
clarinet
it's
somewhere.
horrible.
Yeah.
My flute just randomly disappeared. Nobody knows where it went.
Look at all the woodwinds we have, and then look at the two brass.
The people that bring the content? What you mean?
I was about to say, this just in, saxophone players more likely to be DMs.
It's true.
Yeah, look at Sam.
3 out of 5 DMs that I've had have been saxophone players.
That is weird.
That is kind of weird.
Oh my god. Alright.
Right on. Well, do you guys remember what happened last time on Broken?
Yeah.
Couch!
The
We
couch.
lifted a couch out of a museum.
Yeah.
Zach threatened to
I mean, we
punch
got given a
robot
couch out of a
kid.
museum.
Yeah, sort of, yeah. You talked them into letting you take it, right? You're like, hey,
We
that's
found
my...
out a little too much information about what happened on the couch too.
You're like, hey, that's my couch. I can
See
prove
that stain right there?
yeah.
Uncomfortable laughter.
And so you guys got the couch, and you're wheeling it back to your new place.
Yeah.
What else happened? You finished your conversation with Europa. You got some lore about events that has happened here in the past, about the Assyrian supremacy, Roadbreakers.
We met a Roadbreaker.
Yeah, you met your Enki contact. What was his name? Was that Aho?
Aho, yeah.
Yeah, you sort of threatened to kind of.
I sure did.
I mean, not kind of. We really did.
Yeah.
I sure did. No remorse. And
do it
then
again.
our good friend Jeb over there threatened to punt a robot kid.
I do it again.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he would,
Sad
yeah.
and boring, to be fair.
And Aho told you guys that he saw one of them rip a guy's arm off at the shoulder, or something, right? Like that was the thing.
Q Jed, I do it again.
Again.
Just standing there, only one arm. It was worth it.
I got to punt him.
Tis but a flesh wound.
Flesh wound. Hey, to be fair, at least he's got 2 doctors on the team, so it's not like he.
I don't know if you want either of these doctors to work on you.
I don't know, man. He get a sweet robot arm.
Yeah.
Let me
Hey,
do it.
I'm a
I have
legit
robot
doctor. I
eye.
don't know about you.
I mean, I have a
I'm not a
robot eye.
legit
Let me
doctor,
do
it's just
it.
I don't do much
you've
of the
got
healing.
experience with the robotic body parts.
Yeah.
Alright.
Robo eye.
Right on. Let's see. You guys also got like a job offer from Europa, a test of sorts. Although I don't know if Dank's told you guys about that yet.
No.
We were going to wait until we had the Scramblers, essentially.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Ahu is bringing you Scramblers, so that you can be you can talk without necessarily being listened in on. And
Now I want scrambled eggs.
Does sound
Made
good.
an egg white
Do
sandwich earlier. It was awesome.
all right.
Just ate. Now I'm hungry.
That's what happens when you talk to me.
This is what happens when you talk about scramblers. Anyways,
So I think we left off on this screen
with the couch.
Yeah, with you guys traveling
Yes.
back from the Athrian Pavilion to your
Yeah.
spot in the blocks with the couch.
Oh God, is one of the wheels squeaky?
No, that couch is fantastically well maintained.
Kill the couch.
Okay. So yeah, it probably takes you a while to get to wheel a couch through the city back to the blocks.
And you know we're getting stairs too.
No, you guys got the
Just-
elevator, right? Like the
No, as we're like doing it through the city, you know we're
Oh,
getting
yeah.
stairs as
Yeah.
we're wheeling the couch.
yeah,
Just
probably.
kind of like, can I
Rolling down the
help
street
you?
with my big couch.
Oh God, I just had a realization. How are we going to get it in there?
Well, there's the
Pivot?
elevator.
Yeah,
Pivot.
it'll get in the elevator.
Yeah, you can fit it in the elevator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. it'll
So
fit in
glad
there.
we don't have to carry it up 46 or 42 flights of stairs.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
It
that
turns out the
elevator's
elevator is out of service.
There's not enough beer in the city to pay you guys for that.
there.
Would light something on fire. I swear to God.
Tetris the Healy sofa.
Yeah, so it would probably take a couple hours at least.
Worth it.
But yeah, you guys, I think by early evening, are able to get the couch there. The other thing you might notice about the passage of time in the vault is it does like get dimmer. Like the sky is artificial light, right? Like it's a bunch of like UV lamps on the way above the ground dome that shine the light, or the majority of it. But it does sort of have like a day-night cycle. And so like by the time you guys get to your place in the blocks, it's probably getting close to like sunset or like golden hour, right? So maybe we have like a just a nice shot of the pyramid in the background as you guys are wheeling this couch up to the entrance of the building. There's that large like open air seating area at the bottom where there's a bunch of people gathered, like always. Probably different people than the last time you guys came through to talk to your landlord. But yeah, there's people just hanging out, and you guys are wheeling this couch in. You guys make a break for the elevator. Enter your code.
Elevator's out of service.
Elevator's
Better not
out
be.
of service. No, it's not. It's not out of service.
Thank God.
So you guys are able to get your couch in just fine and wheel it up to your apartment, which I believe we were saying looks something like this.
Yes.
You probably don't have a cat running around, or what are they called?
Yet.
Sparklings or something.
Keyword
Yet.
there is
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah. But yeah, you're able to get the couch in there, no problem, and get it set up. Now, to write memories with this thing, do you have to have it with you? Is that how it works?
No, I just have to have gotten it.
Okay, right on. Good. I don't want you
Thank
to have to
God.
carry a couch around
Yeah,
everywhere.
I think it
Yeah.
just. Yeah, I think it just has to be made
would-
with it, sort of thing.
I would
To be
freaking
fair,
kill
this
you.
thing would be a beast in combat.
Yeah, like you could use it as like a mount, right? Like you just
Yeah.
figure out a way to get
Just
a device
start
on
at
it.
the
where
top
it's
of the
like-
hill and shove it down with him on it.
And then like surf the couch.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen something where somebody had like a
Whole new
remote-
meaning to couch surfing.
Combat couch.
somebody was driving a couch on the interstate or something. They had like something
Yeah.
hooked up to where they could drive it around like a go-kart.
Oh my
So,
god. What the freak?
It's honestly not that hard to do. Getting licensing for it is kind of difficult.
yeah, I would imagine so.
You got a license to drive that couch?
You got a permit
Yes,
for that
sir. Let me
license?
show it to you.
So yeah, so as you guys are like cramming the thing into the elevator, you know, and you're cramming yourselves in with it. I mean, it's not a comfortable fit. I mean, you got maybe
You can
have
just
to-
sit on the couch.
Yeah,
Problem solved.
some people probably sit on the couch, or maybe you have to tip it up a little bit. But everybody gets in. The elevator's closing, and then a hand reaches out and holds the elevator open. And you look up, and it's Aho standing there. And he just gives you a nod, and walks into the elevator. He's got like a sort of like a trench coat on, and it seems a little thicker than before. And he's probably like tucking something clearly under his jacket as he steps onto the elevator with you and rides up to your apartment with you guys. So let me copy your tokens over here. I don't know. You guys did threaten to kill the guy. Maybe you will decide to act on that. So
Yeah, he is following us up into our home,
Yeah.
essentially.
yeah, you did tell him to
Exactly.
meet you.
He
here,
did
but-
step into an enclosed area with us.
Yeah.
The worst mistake.
All right. Yeah. So you guys wheel the couch in, find a spot for it. He sort of like looks around the place. You know, like he looks at every little detail of the layout and that kind of thing. And eventually, he opens his coat and pulls out like a metal container with like a handle on it, almost like a small briefcase, and sets it on the table, and sort of like pushes it to the middle of the table, and then you hear 2 clicks as like the levers on the side latch open, and then he opens the briefcase. Inside, you see 5 small devices with like a plug attachment on them. They probably would fit to your wrist device. And he sort of just gestures at them. He doesn't say anything. There's also like, did you guys order some other stuff besides just the Scramblers?
I
Or
don't
was it just
think
those?
so.
I don't recall.
I think it was just the Scramblers.
I don't think we had anything else we needed to communicate.
Okay.
Did we get explosives?
I thought maybe you did get explosives.
No, we came with explosives.
I thought we ordered
Yeah,
more
we have explosives.
I remember explosives being a thing that we talked about.
I definitely remember mentioning them.
Okay, maybe you ordered the
well,
explosives. I didn't.
I did not either.
Narcissa is immediately going to step over and pick one up and look it over.
Yeah. You pick it up and it's just like a small little device. It looks kind of like a earpiece or something. Like it's tiny, but there's a plug on the back of it that matches like a plug on the device you wear on your wrist that gives you all your like currency information, vitals, all that stuff. Yeah, it looks like something you just plug into there, almost like a it's not a USB obviously, but like a USB flash drive or something.
All right.
This won't short my eye out, will it?
he grins and he says, "No, it's not going to cause any issues. That's Enki tech. We don't make mistakes."
You can just hear Narcissa snort in the background. She plugs it in, turns it on, make sure it works.
Yeah, as soon as it plugs into the device, like it lights up on the end, and you see like a progress bar come up on your heads-up display that's on your wrist. It's like a little floating like hologram kind of thing. Pops up and there's like a progress bar. Yeah, and it says once it finishes, it's like you get text that says like Scrambler device attached. Then it gives you like basically like an on-off switch for you to turn it on, turn it off. It doesn't turn on automatically, but you have the option to like turn it on immediately if you want to.
I'll plug mine in.
All right, same thing.
She'll flip it on real quick.
Yeah, you flip it on. Anybody nearby who's like also in the middle of hooking theirs up, there's like a static interference on your like heads-up display for a second. If yours is already plugged in, it will go away. But if you don't have yours plugged in, it's kind of like not working 100% properly. Like you have a little bit of interference going on.
So in addition to scrambling other people's stuff, it stabilizes yours from being scrambled?
Exactly. Like at least being scrambled against the other
same
device.
frequency.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so he probably like once Narcissa turns hers on, he probably says something like, "You'll all want to activate yours." And then waits for y'all to do so. And then he holds up his wrist device and presses something. And you see like his heads-up display was scrambled for a moment, and then it stops. And he says, "All right, I've dialed into your frequency. If anyone's trying to listen in, it should be a lot more difficult now."
Well, that's handy.
He nods.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he nods. Gives you range. What did we say before? Like 20 feet or something like that? 20, 30 feet?
Sounds about right.
And he says, so just be aware of that. Maybe still a good idea to keep it down if you're talking about things of importance, or to he looks over towards like a device on the wall where that monitor is. He says, "Could always play something loud. It should help."
I'll keep it in mind.
Aye.
I've sent a message to Silas. Let him know you've arrived and that you're making progress. And there's like a pause and silence, and he says, "All right, I'll send you contact information for him yourself if you'd like to reach out directly." And he like holds up his wrist device, and you all get like a notification on your devices, contact added or whatever. And he says, "Yep, we should be able to send information. Perhaps have a call if need be."
Is this for him?
Are
For
you?
Aho?
What do you mean?
Is it to be able to contact Aho?
Oh, it's to contact Silas.
Okay.
I think Aho gave you his contact info last time you guys talked.
Right.
If not, he'll do that too now. And he probably said something along the lines of, there are other contacts in the city, people who could maybe help get supplies if needed. Just let me know if you need anything. I can reach out. Some of them like to stay quiet. It's often difficult to know who you can trust, even in Enki. Others might have their own.
Agendas?
He nods.
Yeah.
That's Enki for you.
Yeah. And he says there's always the potential for competition, too. If you all are after Europa, might benefit someone else to beat you to it.
Wouldn't be the first time I've handled competition.
Yeah, he nods. Good.
That wouldn't happen to also be your target, would it, Aho?
He shakes his head. He says, no, I don't fancy trying to bring the machine to heel. I focus on cutting off its control on the penumbra, keeping it
Fair enough.
as isolated as possible for the time being. Wouldn't want it to be able to wipe us out if it decided to go crazy and start killing again.
Fair enough. Hopefully you're not operating alone here. You've got a team, right?
There are others, yes. Road breaking is a big job. Too much for one man.
Glad to know that you've got contacts who can assist you. Keep in mind, if you do need anything and we're in the area, you can reach out to us. You've done us a turn here. We wouldn't mind doing one back. At least I wouldn't.
That's a
Nuts.
better answer.
Is there a plan should Europa turn sides, though?
Well, I would get out of Nineveh if possible if that happens. It hasn't happened for some time. Sorry, do you mean if it were to start killing again?
No.
What do you mean? Turn sides?
Like if we flipped it over to Enki's side.
Well, if it's possible, I'm sure you'll find a way to do it. Any machine can be manipulated, you would think. Talking to Silas about maybe trying to get you something that can hack it, but it's old tech, still native code. It might
I
be
don't
near.
think hacking is going to be the way to go.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a total complex. Just something that puts in a line of code that it gets approval from one of our superiors before it takes any actions.
You know, just influence its decisions.
You have something in
It'll
mind?
be
Working on it.
persuasion. Dank's been using a lot of persuasion methods for this.
Sure, you want to make a persuasion roll? See how convincing you are, Dank?
Sure. Da, da, da.
Success. Okay. He says, maybe it's my time spent as a Roadbreaker, but normally I would suggest trying to find a way to switch it off. I think that that's more reliable, but if you do think you can bring it under control...
Well, having the ability to switch it off would give us a lot of leverage over it.
Aye,
We would
most things don't want to
also-
die.
Yeah.
We would also have to find out where the power source was originally coming from in order to shut it off.
All in due time. We literally just got here not too long ago. We'll manage. This isn't
Aye,
going
all
to be a
power has to
quick
come
job.
from somewhere.
There has to be a line to the core from here. We haven't been able to locate it. But it seems...
What methods have you tried using to locate it?
Much as we can. Security around the edges of the vault is pretty tight, even the ceilings. There are...
Have you tried going invisible?
Invisible doesn't stop you from being seen by certain sensors, and the ones in the ceilings are particularly advanced. I'd recommend not trying to have a private conversation up in the ducts, but I doubt you'll be going there.
All right, well, keep us posted. If you find out anything that might be useful to our cause, we'd appreciate a heads up. Be sure to compensate you for your time and efforts.
He nods. What have you learned so far?
Not a whole lot, except that Europa has seemed to become increasingly more and more human-like.
What-
Which, if you know anything about humans, you know they're not infallible. Gives us an in, but that's an angle we've got to work.
No, humans can be controlled.
Exactly.
Seems to have a lot of empathy,
Yes.
as one would call it.
Yes, I heard this was a behavior it picked up after the fall of the Primarchy.
I wonder where it picked it up from.
From what I
Well, if it can
understood,
be influenced like that, I mean, we can take advantage of that.
influence
Slowly.
could be good. I'm not sure it'd be as reliable as direct control, but
All in due time.
fair enough.
My initial thought was to get it stretched thin. While keeping it isolated does, limit its control, the more it expands, the less overall power it will have back at the source. So we could slowly let it expand, but in controlled areas where it wouldn't really put us in any kind of bad position.
And after all, if we do succeed in the end, all the places that it is will be ours.
Right. Play the long game. Let it stretch its legs. We'll cut it off when we need to. Where has it been trying to expand its influence? Like, where have you been interrupting it the most?
Most of his outside influence goes into the penumbra, the outback domains. That's where it first established supply lines with free settlements to assist in the war during the Age of Strife.
Maybe let your road blocking slip up a little bit.
So the
I would-
theory is that I've heard that Europa can see through the eyes of its children of the AI it's created. Is the theory that if more of these exist, it's less central control, like its ability to control is divided among its.
think about it this way: when you have a device running off of a power source, it uses up a certain amount of energy. If you add additional devices to that power source, it has less overall power. We get it to the point where the central power of Europa is more limited and spread out. That way, it's easier to swoop in, influence it, take over, get a rogue program in there. Because it won't have the same amount of focus, it'll be split between everywhere it's trying to monitor.
He says, "Yeah, I think I understand. Like the flow of water."
Exactly.
Yeah, he nods. Could be potential for allowing some of these expanded areas to depend on a power source that we control.
Exactly. Once we have it spread out like that, not only would we gain control of Nineveh, but everything that it's managed to take over. It would be a significantly greater gain.
Huh. Long game.
Exactly. I mean, we've been trying to do this for hundreds of cycles. What's another 100 more?
Yeah, he nods. Seems to make sense. I'll reach out to some of our Nexi, see if we can get some more information about what's going on in the ducks.
Excellent.
Maybe we can have you all locate the power source it's drawing from.
Sounds like a plan. Has anybody tried using a couple of pulse wings to scout out possible high sources of power along the route to the core? That would be like one of the easiest ways to find concentrations of power. If we find a steady line of it, we find where it's coming from.
Yeah, he says, no, I don't think anyone's come up with the idea of using pulse swings, actually. Most of us aren't too accustomed to working with the fauna.
Well, I mean, we do know somebody, the guy outside who's been minding the fields, keeping control of, well, not really
Source of
controlling,
information.
but taking care of the lions. The man seems pretty well versed with the fauna. Maybe
Yeah.
we could bring him around.
He cocks an eyebrow, and he says, there's a man in the green ring that controls the lions? That's curious.
Essentially, yeah. He's got like an entire pride of them.
Anything different about him?
Don't touch him.
Not in that sense. I know where you're going with this, but he didn't seem like a vagabond.
Aye, it more seemed like the animals had imprinted on him.
Oh, okay, you're lying, right? Like, you're lying. You know this guy was a vagabond.
Oh yeah, I'm straight up lying.
All right, deception roll. It's contested.
All right.
All right.
In there.
I was about to say I was trying to see if I could help at all, but
No, you're right.
And then I kind of want him to fail.
Pulls out a scalpel and holds it at his neck.
Yeah, so you kind of like
And goes,
lean-
"Do not touch him."
Yeah, okay, so you're gonna straight up threaten him.
I got this.
I mean, we
got
have
this.
before.
Yeah.
No pleasantries at all.
Okay.
No.
Make a intimidation check roll.
I already beat him.
Yeah, I know, but she wants to do this anyways.
I'm pulling out my gun slowly. I'm not pointing it at him, but I'm pulling it out.
Okay.
This man could potentially be a valuable asset.
This would be the equivalent of like an insight. So it would be the same thing you rolled against Dank. I'll say like no matter what happens, Dank, it's not gonna affect your roll. Like you've succeeded.
Okay, cool.
12 to your 7. So yeah, you're holding the dagger to his throat.
Because it was contested. I just said it was a regular roll. But I don't have anything to help anyway, so.
Yeah. And okay, so here's what happens.
It's just a scalpel, though, not a dagger.
Okay, so you're just holding a scalpel to his throat. She's pulling out her gun and pointing it at him. Elizabeth is, just to be safe. You're like, don't touch him, and he's like, he grins. The other guy, Dank's like, he's not a vagabond. He believes you. He grins, and then you feel like a tap on your lower stomach, and you look down, and he's got a gun pointed at your gut. And he says,
"Oh my god!"
He says, "Easy now. I wasn't planning on putting hands on the man." But he's like smiling at you, like, "Oh, you're kind of impressive, huh?"
It's like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Ah, but you see, I do think she has you there. If she makes that incision right there, you'll die very quickly.
Yeah. You try to fire the gun, she twitches, you're dead. But hey, there's no need for that. We're all allies here. Everyone calm down.
And see, here's the thing, Aho, that I don't think you understand. I'm pretty sure you're the only one out of the two of us here that's afraid to die.
He smiles. He says, "What makes you think I'm afraid to die?"
Because last I checked, I don't think you're a vagabond. Or at least not a natural one.
Are you telling this guy that you're a vagabond?
Please, God, do not.
He's
God
never
dang
hidden it.
Not. Because I'm about to blow a hole in this guy if you do. I swear to
She
God.
never hides it. She never hides it.
So Enki already knows that she's a vagabond.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hired her in knowing she's a vagabond.
They don't tell everyone that they have vagabonds working for them.
I'm pretty sure most people in Enki would know that they do, though.
Some people
Yeah.
have been like altered to use memories as like a source of information and stuff like that, for sure. But you're saying you said natural vagabond is what you said. So there
Yeah.
may be a difference than there might be a difference from like an Enki made vagabond.
Narcissa is a naturally made vagabond, so she has died. She remembers the death.
Okay, so that's what you're hinting at is the whole the whole death and rebirth thing.
Yeah, she is a naturally made vagabond.
Okay. So he raises an eyebrow, like his face kind of loses the like sarcasm, the sort of like.
And she's like grinning.
Yeah, he looks kind of serious for a moment.
Her grin has not lost.
You see his eyes go wide, and his like eyes dart to the back of your neck, where I'm assuming there's hair covering up the.
No, it's a short ponytail. So I mean, if he wants to turn and turn and look, she'll perfectly let him.
We see him look and sort of like realize, and then he shoots eyes at Dank. Like
again, we're all allies here.
He tucks his gun back in his like holster.
And when he does, she finally pulls back the scalpel.
I'm still keeping my gun out. I'm not shooting it at him. I'm pointing it at the ground, but I'm keeping it out.
Okay. He says, "Well, you're a curious group, aren't you?"
And most people keep saying that. I don't know why.
It takes a village.
Let me make a roll here for Aho.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Whatever you're making a roll for, can I like read what his like reaction to all of this is? Like, I think it's probably pretty easy, but
yeah, you have a read people-y kind of skill, don't you?
I have biology and observation.
Observation would definitely count. I don't know about biology. You're like, the shape of his ears tell me that this is how he might be.
Yeah, the motion of your face when you react to things.
Cold reading.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Make a roll.
Cool. All right.
I'm going to also make a roll.
All right. So, Liz, he's trying to decide whether you being vagabonds makes you a threat or a like what's the best way to put it? Like somebody of
resource?
Yeah, like a resource or somebody of importance, like a higher up, like more important than he thought you were. Maybe he thought you guys were like plebs.
As vagabonds working for the Enki, we would be a very finite, valuable resource.
Yeah. And he does decide that you're more important resource. You see that on his face as he makes the decision, like a split second. That's what his
Aye,
role
you're starting
was.
to get it now.
There's a reason why they put us on this mission.
You're a smart man.
He says, I can understand why you'd be so careful with other Enki. And he's sort of like stands up, and he says, before I leave, just be wary of other agents finding out your circumstance.
Already knew that.
We can count on your silence, right?
He nods, and he says, I'd be wary of Europa too. After all, where do you think we got Memotech?
Exactly.
And then he walks out of the room. And he goes
I
to the
put
elevator.
my gun away.
Yeah.
Ah, well, that was almost a disaster.
See, guys, this is why I am the face. I do the talking.
He chose to follow us up here. He almost chose death. That was his problem.
Oh, I don't care about that.
Remember, he got us stuff. If we need more things, we now have somebody who is willing to bring us stuff.
That's why I didn't kill him.
We're lucky enough that now he thinks we're more important. But
Yes.
I wouldn't count on our luck a second time.
Just let me do the talking. We'll be fine. Speaking of which, we have a goodwill mission from Europa.
I'm sorry, a what?
A goodwill mission. So, the whole reason of us being here is to eventually flip Europa to our side, right? Whether it be by force, persuasion, coercion, what have you. In order to gain some clout and goodwill with Europa, she has given us a mission to retrieve someone. A vagabond
Alright.
with a certain power.
You see her eyes slowly start to get wider.
Now, I know what you're thinking. We are not to harm or otherwise inconvenience this individual. This is our in. Europa already knows who we are and has a vague idea of why we're here. But again, Europa doesn't understand the full picture, only what was at the forefront of our minds when we talked to it. The more we can get Europa to see us as a valuable asset, the deeper we can infiltrate. And the easier it'll be to eventually gain control. There's a reason why I didn't let Aho know about this, because I'm not sure he'd see it the same way. Again, a lot of the Inky doesn't really have the same viewpoint on vagabonds as vagabonds themselves do. But given the recent display, I believe that that shouldn't be a problem with us. So, what do you guys say? Are you in or are you out?
You realize what you're asking me to do, right?
I understand. This is a once-in-a-lifetime encounter. There are so many things you could learn from this person by dissecting them. There will be others. We'll be able to get our hands on anything when we have Europa under our control. Eyes and ears everywhere. Nothing will be hidden anymore. It's worth the wait.
If we're not supposed to inconvenience them, what's the point in looking for them? What if they don't want to be found?
Europa is essentially sending us on a rescue mission. They've been trapped.
So we're supposed to go against our own to save this guy?
Not necessarily.
We aren't the only bad thing here, you know.
Fair enough. Alright. But if this becomes a kick in my ass in the future, Dank, I hope you realize I'm coming for you.
I'm willing to accept the consequences.
I
Well-
trust your word enough, at least.
Well, I will give you the actions to back up my words. Trust is earned, and I will earn it. Any objections with the rest of you?
Not that I know of. Sounds fine to me.
Sounds
Yeah,
good to
you've
me.
enough.
I'm not gonna lie, I was eating a burger.
Jeff over there eating things.
I'm always fucking hungry.
So, makes sense. Him
Well-
just eating and goes, what?
He's
like
been
takes a
nomming on
bite
his
of burger.
bananas.
It's like, yeah, sure, whatever, man.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
he
just
can't
been-
read, right? That was the thing.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Let's not bring
There's
that
just-
up.
There's just been like this whole
Yeah,
scene
I'm
going
19 and I
down.
never learned how to read.
There's just been this whole like death scene going down where the whole group's about to die, and Jess just over there.
He's like just in the corner
Oh.
eating bananas.
Yeah.
If we want to make this
Giant
canon,
ass monkey.
if we want to make this canon, I could be just vibing on the couch, just zoning the fuck out, eating bananas. I've gone through at least 5 through that entire conversation.
Sweet. That's what happened.
Nice.
Guns were drawn, threats were made, voices were raised. He's like, nah.
Bananas were eaten.
Bananas were eaten. Shit!
The floor. Damn it.
Something jumped.
There's a buzz at the door panel to the elevator. Like a brr, brr sound.
I'm gonna push the button and
Narcissa
I'll be
goes
like,
over to
"Who
click the
is
intercom."
this?"
Yeah, there's an intercom.
As
Prob-
we're both fighting for the intercom.
yeah, you push a button.
So we'll just let her do it.
And a little screen pops up, and you can see like a image of a guy standing at the bottom of the elevator. You realize it's the landlord, the guy who like set you guys up in here. I don't know. Do we have a name for him? Was that?
We have a name, but I can't remember what it was.
It's either
Hold on,
Jedra
it's in
or
the Roll20 chat.
I think it was Jadra.
Jedra.
That sounds about right.
I know Wu Yong 6 is the guy you're after.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was Jadra.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, so it's like Jedra, your landlord, staying down there. And he has like a what looks like a small box of supplies in his hands. And he's like, "Hey, it's Jedra. I just got something for you guys from Europa."
Oh, we'll be right down to get it.
All right, sure. And you hear him like grunt as he like sets the box on the ground and like leans up against the wall to wait.
Who's going down?
I'll go.
I think we should send our tech person down to check it for bugs.
I might go as well.
So me and Dis.
You sound so hesitant.
Fuck it, I'll go too.
Okay.
All right, so Liz, Dis, and Narcissa, you're gonna hop on that elevator and head downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we
What's
see
wrong?
like
I'm gonna blow it up.
We get down to the bottom, boom, half the party dead.
Yeah, we just see the elevator open and there's nobody inside it, and then it just explodes, and like everyone in the pavilion underneath starts screaming. There's smoke. All right, no, that doesn't happen. So yeah, we see the elevator open up, and Jadra's like leaning up against the wall, like all casually resting. And then he hears the elevator door open, and he kind of jumps up, and he's like, "Oh, you're here!" And he like leans down, picks up the box, and then he starts to hand it over to you, like, or hold it out for you to take it. And he says, "Not sure what task she got you guys working on, but it must be important if she's sending you these."
Did she say what it
Fine.
was? We weren't expecting a package.
Yeah, he goes, "Looks like it's a bunch of high quality air filters." He goes, "I had him printed myself," and he like, the box is like open on the top, right? So he like reaches in, pulls one out, and it looks like kind of like a gas mask with like an attached filter on the end. It's also got some buttons on the side. Like there's a couple different buttons. He says, I've had one myself. I can show you how they work. I've never had to use it though."
Well, that'd be wonderful, please.
Yes. Do you also know what they protect against?
Well, they're usually for breathing in, well, either low oxygen or in a place that's got a lot of pollutant gases. It's just to
I see.
make sure you can cycle air. It also interacts with your, and he points to his wrist, like the wrist device he's wearing. He says it gives you a heads-up display of vitals, how long you have left on the filter. These filters are pretty good quality. They should be able to work for a full day each at a time. And I grabbed a couple extras for you guys. I had to print them myself, so I just had to go with materials I had, but should be enough in there for 3 days each.
Oh,
Aye,
thank
that
you.
may come in handy.
Yeah, he nods. He says, "All right, so this is how you attach them." He like grabs one that's like on his hip or whatever, or in his like satchel. He's like, "You just take them on like this, or you take them off like this. You put them on like this." And then he shows you the buttons. What the buttons do. One of them probably like unhooks the filter, lets it so you can take it off. Another one like adjusts some of the heads-up display stuff, so like how big it is, how much of your vision it takes up, that kind of thing. Maybe you can even like change the language on it, whether it's like uniform language or just like common language or whatever. Maybe it would be like RKN or something it would be called. Basically our English. And yeah, he just like shows you how to use them real quick. It's pretty simple. Shows you how to interface it with your like wrist apparatus thing. We'll have to get a name for that.
Right.
So we can't really call it the Pip Boy because that's like gotta be trademark.
It
Risk up.
probably is.
Yeah, we'll come up with a name for it.
Pep girl.
With your iWatch or whatever. No, Fitbit. No, we can't do that either.
Pebble. Wait, no, that's new. Dang it.
Non-copyrighted wristwatch.
Yeah, we can just call it like a vital tracker or something.
Oh, so like a Fitbit.
Yeah. Yeah, it keeps track of your vitals, your money, your digital currency. It's a smartphone.
Your steps, your heartbeat.
Yeah, your steps and your heartbeat if you want it to, absolutely.
See, but I heard stabs.
Yeah.
I did too.
I think that's more
That's what I
telling.
heard too. I'm so glad I heard that too.
I think it's more
Wasn't the only one.
I think it's more
Why
telling
not
about
both?
you. You thinking about stabbing people? Yes.
Don't be a Haley.
I do have a scalpel.
A stab tracker. Thank you, unrated.
Oh my god.
You need to make 7 more stabs to meet your goal for today.
I almost made one more.
Sorry about that. I had a delivery.
All right on.
Was it the
Oh, perfect.
You get 8 stabs, you get like a free Coke or something.
Yeah, you missed it. We were trying to find a name, and now we just come up with the.
Why don't we just call it the
wristwatch
stab?
that counts stabs.
The stab tracker. We could just call it the stab tracker.
Yeah,
Wait,
my
what's
stab.
happening now?
We're trying to come up with a name for the wrist device thing.
Wait, did it stab somebody?
No.
No, it counts. It counts how many times you stab somebody.
You know, like a Fitbit.
Wait, did somebody get stabbed?
No.
No, not yet.
No, he's so confused. He was gone for 5 seconds. He's like, what is happening?
I
Just
stepped
counts how
out to
many
grab
times
some
you
cigars.
stab somebody.
This is the best content.
Grabs some cigars and he comes back, sits down, and here's stab tracker.
Yeah.
Instead of stat tracker.
I mean, there's got to be a market for it.
Yeah. Totally.
Mostly among serial killers, but yes.
So,
Hi,
you
that's
know-
what most of us are.
Competitive chefs. A lot of stabbing going on there.
I don't know that there is.
Man, they're holding a world record right now.
There's a lot of cutting, but I don't know that there's much stabbing.
Oh, there is. It is a very stab throat environment there.
God damn it.
God damn it. Hey, yo, Jeffrey Dahmer got the world record.
Oh my god.
He just wanted to take their picture.
So he shows you guys the how to use the mask and how it works and everything, and interfaces with your stab tracker. Yeah. And he's kind of
Look,
like
we took a stab at the naming thing and it didn't work out.
God damn it. Stop!
he's kind of like acting like he's interested in what you need them for, right? Like he's not asking directly, but he's making comments like, "Huh, must be some important thing she's got you working on," or "Man, you guys must not be working in the city for this, whatever this job is," stuff like that.
I'm just gonna take the box and start backing away into the elevator.
I feel that.
Yeah, so he's doing that thing where he's like hovering too long and like trying to have a conversation. You clearly want to go, and he's like, he's just like talking too long. He's not picking up on it, you know.
No, even worse, they don't have any of that like social like thing, so they just leave.
Yeah.
That's when you just start backing up slowly.
That's
and then you
exactly.
sprint out.
Narcissa would let them like get a ways away, like keep close to him, before leaning over and go rescue mission before following the others to the elevator. Like that's all she's gonna say.
You should have said
Nothing
don't
more.
ask questions you don't want to know the answer to.
Well, I mean, it gives him enough to know that something's going on, but not enough to be like anything else.
Yeah.
Fair.
So he's just like, he's like, oh, okay, and then the door closes abruptly.
Yeah.
He's probably about to say something else. And
Diz
then,
waves goodbye.
and then he's just like, huh, all right. And he walks.
Like,
starts
it's
to walk
enough to
off.
know that like Europa is trusting us with stuff.
I mean, he clearly thinks that. Yeah.
Like she sent us like good gear too. So
Yeah.
Liz is just
Or at least the
staring at
blueprint
him.
for it.
yeah.
Yeah, and she didn't tell him what it was. Clearly,
Yeah.
she was basically was like, "Hey, he probably got a message from her. It was like, hey, you've got some new refugees that just moved into your building or whatever. I need you to go and print these off for them, get them this gear." And he said he had to use his own material to make it, because remember, Citizens Print, you have to bring your own material, but you can make stuff. So he literally went and paid for this gear for you guys, basically. And then
Pretty awesome.
And then then he goes to hand it to you, and you guys are like, "Yeah, we don't really want to talk about it. Thanks for the free stuff."
Yeah, that's why like Narcissa is at least like rescue mission. You know, it's like top secret hush hush kind of thing. You know, like at least like give him like a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just gave
At
no
least like,
shits
you
and
know,
took
at
the
least like this
box.
way at least like this way it's like a bit of like a hey, thanks for like going out of your way to like get us like the good stuff, you know, instead of like going like El Cheapo on it, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because like he could have gone like super cheap on it and nobody in Europe wouldn't have known.
This is true.
Ooh.
Well, she
It would
would
have eventually gotten back. It would have eventually gotten back to her, but like it wouldn't. She wouldn't have found out about it until afterwards.
Yeah, probably.
Oh my god.
All right. So the three of them show back up in the apartment with a box of stuff.
Me and Dank are just jamming.
sitting on the couch playing the bass guitar. He's there eating bananas.
Bananas.
I'm learning the bass line to Feel Good from Gorillaz.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Boom, 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 boom.
I'm providing the
that one.
vocals.
Good times.
All right.
We have gas masks now.
Sweet. Let's hook him up to the hookah. Or I mean,
No.
Yes.
I don't think that's how they work.
Yeah, this
Especially
shit
for-
great.
Well, I mean, I guess we could and like see how well they work.
that actually isn't a half bad idea. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You guys are really about to hook these things
do
up to the. Yeah, you
No.
can.
No!
You can absolutely do that if you really want to. I mean, you have like
Oh, God.
No.
you have like
That would be a
am-
waste of filters.
well,
It
you won't
would.
you won't have to use the filters. Like
No, you
can-
just hook it up directly to it.
yeah, you could just take the filter off and then hook the hose up to the mat. I mean, you got engineers. I'm sure you can find a way to.
Yeah.
No.
Just like make an improvised
If you really want to.
device
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm doing it.
for super happy fun time.
Oh,
I'm
goodness.
doing it.
I knew he would like that idea.
Narcissa is going to sigh, rub her temples, and go, "It is dinner time. I am hungry. Can we go get some food?"
I toss a banana at her and I just put on the gas mask.
Just like blazes up. It's like bananas out, time to
Yeah.
blaze.
He's
Can I have her roll to like see if she keeps her temper?
sure, yeah.
Please lose your temper.
He's as you see, he's already attached the hose to the end of the gas mask. He throws you a banana, and then we see him breathe in really hard, and the gas mask goggles that you can see his face through just fill up with smoke.
Oh, shit. I'm next.
All right, yeah,
She
yeah.
keeps it. She keeps it, thankfully.
Okay, all right.
Because like if she loses it, it's like murderous rampage. She just like takes it, like smashes the banana like on the outside of his.
Like peels it
Of his
menacingly
mask.
and just slams it into his face.
Yeah, like peel and all, like on the outside of his mask.
All right.
Looks at Dis and Liz and goes, "I'm going to get some dinner. Would you like to join me?"
I think Liz is actually partaking in the gas mask smoking.
Hey!
Nayla, are you joining them in the hookah? Oh, well then she's turning to Dis then.
I just said it was an idea. I'm
Then
glad
do you
to
want
see.
dinner?
Yes, we need to get food so we can be properly like ready for this operation. It's already
Listen,
nighttime. Get some dinner, formulate a plan, get some rest, and then head out.
We can leave these
exactly.
two to get high, and we'll bring them leftovers.
Hey, yo, that's fine.
It's just hookah,
They'll be
guys.
high. Leftovers are fine.
You just hear in the background.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna come back and he's just gonna be dead suffocated.
You just like get back, the elevator doors open, and it just floods with smoke.
What were you guys doing while we were gone?
What?
Oh
Let's see what today's popular hookah flavor is.
Pineapple.
Yes. No, it's that horrible, horrible, horrible fake banana flavor.
Ew.
That would be pretty good.
That like
the
Laffy
basic-
Taffy artificial banana flavor.
You know that banana flavor comes from like proto bananas that no
Yeah.
longer exist, right?
Yes.
They
So
are
the
all
bananas
dead.
you know
I
nowadays.
feel like we've talked about this before.
Yeah, like the banana flavoring from actual bananas now is not how the original bananas tasted.
I know.
I stole you the shit out of him.
I would eat like one of the old school bananas. Like, say what you want, man. That flavoring is actually pretty good.
The shit bussin'.
Oh no, I like it. Yeah.
Just because I like this name. The hookah you guys are smoking is called Adalia Lady Killer. It is it is a mix between sweet mango, juicy strawberries with menthol and pineapple.
That
so
actually
it's-
does sound good.
It's like a really fruity.
I called pineapple.
Yeah, I added it just for you.
Oh.
Honeydew melon, mango berries, and mint.
Yeah. So yeah, it's got like a fruity aroma to it. Makes the place smell nice. Certainly would be like a good.
So since he's
incense.
trapped in the mask, that means his eyes and nose are just watering from the menthol.
Well, it just has mint, not menthol, but it would still make your eyes water like crazy.
Yeah.
Look at the cat.
The guys are going nuts in the Discord today. Yeah, you're zonked out. Like
About the
cat.
bananas.
All right. So while they're smoking hookah with their gas mask, the rest of you are doing what?
Getting dinner.
You guys going to go somewhere? It sounded like you wanted to go get something.
Yeah. Food.
Going to get some food. All right.
Nums.
What kind of stuff are you guys looking to get? Are you just looking to get more like street food? Or are you wanting to go like to a restaurant and get some food? There are restaurants probably. Or like a
I mean, I think we were probably going for real food.
real food?
Narcissa would guilt the boys into real food.
All right. What kind of stuff do you pick up? What are we qualifying as real food? I imagine much of the
Your
restaurants.
pizza joint.
No. We need to get like solid American food, like burgers.
Like Taco Bell.
Yes.
There's not a Taco
You're
Bell.
getting
unfortunately.
gassed by a hookah. You don't get a sec.
There probably would be a place that sells like some kind of meat sandwich. Yeah.
Nibiru
I
version of
want a
Taco
pizza
Bell.
joint. I think they would be absolutely like flabbergasted by a pizza joint.
Burgers and fries.
We've seen that there are pies and stuff, so there might be something close.
You would imagine. So, well, then there's the fact that do they have milk for cheese?
Yeah, that's the big thing.
Maybe.
Yeah, I
Maybe
don't-
the cheese is just
They
a
gotta
different
have
color.
some kind of dairy, or else
Oh
they
God,
wouldn't have
fungus
bread at
cheese.
all.
It'd be like the milk of some weird creature, right? Like
Well, they have the sheep animals, and you
Yeah.
can milk goats.
You can milk goats. and
True. Goat
is
cheese
pretty
pizza.
good.
Interesting.
yeah, maybe milk the sheep. The things that are called sheep aren't like what you would imagine a sheep to be necessarily. They kind of look like them,
Right.
sort of.
So wait, the milk would be like spicy because it'd have electricity.
Yeah, yeah. So like the sheep grow electric-
Carbonated pizza. It has this tingle.
Yeah.
I can feel
I'm
the
sure
energy.
after a
in
while
my
it
tongue.
dissipates. I'm sure you can discharge it somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. they're
On
probably
your tongue.
some kind of sheep's milk cheese. Sure. There's
Maybe
a pl-
there's like a bar kind of place, so that way y'all can get your burgers and she can get like a pizza thing.
Yeah.
Now we can't call them
Sweet.
burgers because there's nowhere named Hamburg.
Yeah. They're just like meat sandwiches or something. Probably I don't know, made from either sheep or lions or something like that, maybe even leapers.
Lion burger. I will have one of those.
Have you ever eaten lion before?
No.
You wouldn't want to.
cat meat
They
is like
taste
really
like ass.
cat meat's gonna be.
Oh,
You
I'm
guys
sure
hear
I'm sure they add things to it to make it okay.
No, I mean,
Did
like,
you guys hear
why
about the
in-
vagabond that supposedly got born from a lion?
that hasn't happened yet.
Wait a second, that's me.
The second coming of Jeebus. That's what Jeb is short for. Calling it now. Jeb is just short for Jeebus.
I don't like that.
Turns out to be a carpenter.
Jebbus.
He's like really good with making stuff out of wood for some reason.
We just need to get him some wood to find this out.
Has an odd fascination with
Experiment.
washing people's feet.
Oh god.
Stay away from my feet.
Give me them toes.
All right, so you guys go out and get food. We'll say like, I don't know, you're buying food for everybody. We'll say it's like 10 credits each. If you're just getting like a meal. But yeah, you can get pretty much whatever you like. Within reason. You can't get like Taco Bell. But you can get like a taco-like thing. You know.
Well, then what's the
Shawarma.
point? I might as well just eat bananas.
Yeah.
Getting smoked to death. Why are you complaining?
Hey, I just wanted Doritos Locos Tacos.
You're also getting leftovers, so why are you complaining?
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, 10 credits each. You can bring the food back and hang out with your hookah friends. You guys now have filters. You got scramblers. Are you guys keeping the scramblers on at all times?
No, only when we're like talking about stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I would.
Because that would be weird if we were like randomly walking
Permanently.
around and people were like, why are we hearing this weird static? And then it goes away, you know?
Yeah, that would give us away.
Yeah, I mean, it also might say something to Europa if like they were never able to monitor you.
Yeah, so definitely not keeping them active at all times.
Okay. Sure. So you guys get some food. You make your way back to the apartment. There's smoke. There's fruit smells. There's pizza-like things and hamburger-type foods being passed around in little like paper containers. Paper-like containers. There's trees here, so fuck it.
Right.
Yeah, so paper wouldn't be a far stretch.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I got paper notebooks, so
Oh yeah.
the last session.
So what do you guys do? It's probably getting into the evening now. We're past sunset. It's probably gotten dark by now. People are starting to come to the end of their daily routines and sort of settle in. The streets become a little less crowded down below. And you're probably for the first time able to see another reason they call it the City of Lights. As you're looking out the windows to your block, which you have those giant windows that, you know, the wall of just window where you can see out into the blocks and all the other tall buildings and all these lights on. As the overhead lights have dimmed and gone out.
Narcissa's gonna dim their room, so that way it's easier to see out and then just like look out over the city.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and tougher to see in.
Yeah. Yeah, so you see a lot of people moving around, going about their last few errands for the day. Some people going out for entertainment, like the bar that you had picked food up from. There's probably a lot of like music clubs open at night also. And different things like that, different shows going on, because the people here are really into the arts. So there's probably quite a few like night concerts you can hear in the distance and that kind of thing. Crowds.
Gotta play a concert when we come back from the mission.
Yeah.
Is there like a balcony or something, or is it just straight wall and nothing else?
There probably would be like a small balcony, like enough for like, like a hotel balcony kind of.
Narcissa would probably go out there.
Like a little awning over the top of it. It's like retractable. Maybe even like a plant or two on the balcony. There's no ashtray though, so do with that what you will.
Just start ashing on the ground below you.
Ash into my hand and bring it back inside to properly dispose of it because I'm not a heathen who litters.
Yeah.
I just want to be a nuisance, and I really hope that an ash falls on somebody.
I mean, given how high up we are, I don't think it would really make a
Just get
difference.
caught in the wind.
Yeah.
Wait,
Alright.
is there wind here though? We're like in an enclosed area.
No, it's artificial wind.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Plants still generate like oxygen and stuff, so there would be like a minor wind and stuff.
Well, there would
There would
be
be
Yeah.
some circulation.
there'd be some air circulation and wind just from the fact that there is like oxygen being pumped into the vault at all times, right?
Right.
Like it wouldn't be like maybe if you've been to some other parts of the world, you've been to a place called the Taurus Corridor, which is like this big old long hallway that
Full of
connects
wind.
connects the Antumbra and the Penumbra, and it's they even build like these sailboats to sail through the air down the corridor because that's how big the corridor is. It's like miles across.
Right.
It's definitely not as intense as there a place like that, but there probably would be like a slight breeze.
Alright, so we need to come up with a plan of action for this rescue mission. We know where we need to go. We have a vague idea of what's outside of this place and why this person is stuck here.
Clearly, it's dangerous if she's giving us gas masks.
Right. How many gas masks were there, actually?
One for each of us.
One for each of you, and there were extra filters for 3 days total for each mask. So 3
Okay.
filters per mask and 1 mask for each of you all.
Well, hopefully the person we're rescuing also has their own mask.
Yeah.
If not, seems like it's their problem.
I mean, if the place you're going to, do you guys know anything about the Dead Vaults of Era?
Mm,
Can we make a roll to find out?
You could. It can be like an equivalent of like a history roll or knowledge roll or something like that.
Anybody have anything like that?
No,
Hold
no,
on.
not at all.
Generally deemed unlivable due to malfunctioning life support and lack of resources necessary to sustain standard living conditions.
Yeah, some of you guys have the book.
I think Narcissa would just know more like rumors and stuff, but I'll still make like she doesn't have any special skills for it, but I'll make a roll.
All right.
But Narcissa has traveled quite a bit before she became Enki too.
Yeah, Liz, you're pretty sure you know what it is. Like you've heard of it. And you remember that it's ironic that it's called the Dead Vaults because it's actually like not a bad place. It's pretty okay, you know. That's what you remember. But you're wrong. Narcissa.
Toxic floods, oxygen leaks, structural collapse.
Yeah. It's essentially a set of old vaults, reservoirs that have been long abandoned. Let's see here. You rolled a savvy success, so I can probably give you a bit of information out of the book here. The ravaging of the Antumbran North led to the loss of almost all access to life support systems in the area. The North was shredded, reprocessed with the frantic search of more construction materials. Today, the whole region undergoes a slow but steady repair process. which is intermittently halted by lack of resources. The local population have experienced toxic floods, oxygen leaks, structural collapse, and a myriad of different inherited disasters. The dead vaults of Era were hit particularly hard, left entirely in the dark with no oxygen whatsoever. Today, they're widely known as a common destination for research groups, which take advantage of the area's state to study the station's inner systems. The other thing you might know, you're kind of a doctor-y type, right?
Mhm.
There are these things called, and the other groups sort of encountered a minor one of these. There's things called worms of Era. They come from the dead vaults. They're essentially a parasite that forms a symbiotic relationship with these things called shocktails. They're these lizard-like things. And the worm of Era is the parasite that forms a bond with them. It makes the shocktails more dangerous. And it's really bad if that symbiote infects people because it causes what they call a Burkamaria infestation. So typically what that looks like is hordes of shocktails that will target people as their prey. So you end up in a situation, if you have an infestation of this stuff, where you'll have just like big old giant waves of shocktails sweeping through areas and just like killing people. Did you ever see footage of the rat in Australia? They had like a rat pandemic kind of thing or infestation where the rats were just these swarming in big old herds and like sweeping across the countryside, like infesting people's barns and stuff. Similar to that, but they're shocktail lizards with these parasite tails, symbiotic with their body, and so some of them are pretty big, like they're the size of like dogs, and some of them are small, but when they're in groups of thousands, perhaps more, in extreme circumstances, it can be really dangerous. And the thing about shocktails when they're infested, like the other group that saw them, was when they were hanging down from the ceiling, their tail was made to look like a cable, and it did end up attacking some people in the group, but someone's connection with the Leviathan sort of helped diffuse that situation. So, and there was just one of them. it was just one of them. So that's the thing. But that parasite comes from the Vaults of Era. Let's see if there's any other information I can give you. Cluster of empty reservoirs that were abandoned as fast as they were found. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Some of the creatures the average weight of the shocktails is about 3 kilos. They are edible, as long as you don't eat the symbiote. You just don't want to eat that symbiote. And if you are eating one that had a symbiote attached to it, you're kind of risking it, to be honest, because you can contract Burkamaria from the creature biting you and scratching you and stuff.
Huh.
Ooh.
Let's see here. The full details on shocktails. Shocktails are creatures live in permanent symbiosis with invertebrate worms of Era, which have 2 terminations in their extremes, attaches itself to the shocktail's rear, and another is left open. The worm feeds from the shocktail's nutrients, and the shocktail uses the worm's body and their electric flow as a likeness for cables to hunt. So basically, like, because other animals will attach to cables as like a feeding source, they use it as bait. They're more dangerous when they have this tail. Just fun fact, shocktails are much more dangerous when they have the tail. And they usually roam power lines, squeezing their bodies into the clump of cables and letting the worm's body hang loose. Bypassing creatures will touch the cable or try to feed from it, suddenly get wrapped up in the worm's embrace, with the shocktail curling to sink its razor-sharp teeth into the victim's neck. Shocklings will generally hunt alone or in pairs, the worms of which are coupled to create a longer, dangling imitation of a cable. Worms are parasitic creatures from the dead vaults of Era. cluster of empty reservoirs that were abandoned. They grow inside a host, and after its death, they seek the light. And attune to their host's electric current, which also determines the type of creatures their symbiote will hunt. Though in most cases, infected animals were sparklings and other small lawu, which basically just means fauna. Some worms of Era have been found in humans, a dread occurrence which almost always translates in a human hunting shocktail infestation, widely known as Burkamaria. Yeah.
Terrifying, knowing that we were lucky that ours wasn't in a pair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think it was?
No, it was just the one.
There might have been more in there, though.
I guess true.
Anyway, though, we know a little bit about the place that we're going to and how awful it is.
Terrifying.
Oh, you guys want to see where it is on the map? I can show you that. So let's look at the map for Antumbra here. Okay, so if you recall, this is Nineveh. This is the city you guys are in right now. This is Asher. This is like the main capital city closest to the core. The reason there's a connection drawn is because that's probably where you guys came from to reach Nineveh.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's see. Let's zoom in a little bit here. So this area called the Mirage is sort of like that long corridor that connects to Nineveh. It's where they, I think they found Europa, like when the city was founded, somewhere around Dur, and the entrance to Nineveh was like around the Mirage because it was a hidden entrance. I think it's why it's called the Mirage. The Dead Vaults of Era are way up here. So if you were traveling like on your own, it's several days travel. Unless there's another way to get there.
Yeah.
But at least it's not like whole other end of Nibiru. Far.
Right. Yeah, it's not sending you to the Umbra or anything. I mean, it's close to like the Assyrian Waste, but it's still in the Antumbra. And it's actually going to be a you guys will be crossing the 0.8 G line, so gravity will lighten up. Once you guys cross the 0.8 G line, you'll get a bonus to all your stuffs. On your sheet, there's a way to track gravity. And once you cross the 0.8 G line, you'll be able to increase that to a +1 for a limited amount of time until your body adjusts or whatever, which may take a couple days. But you see in the middle where it's like stable, +0, +1, plus it probably goes up to +2. Yeah, you guys will be at a +1. Now, if you're coming straight from the Umbra to the 0.8, past the 0.8 line, it'll give you a +2 for that. But I don't think any of you guys are from the Umbra. Are you? You haven't been there in a while.
Don't think so?
No.
We haven't been there in a while, so it wouldn't be applicable.
Yeah. Alright, so think the gravity will be a little less intense. You'll be able to move around easier. You'll be able to breathe easier. All that kind of stuff. Jump higher.
Until we actually get into the vaults, because there's going to be areas with no air.
Well, the vaults themselves have no oxygen.
Yeah.
So, once you're in, that's when the danger starts, presumably. Now, the book does say, like, a lot of this area is under repair, like, it's under work, that kind of thing.
Part of it is being brought back to, operational functionality, but there are still parts that are just too dangerous to go to, and they don't have the resources to fix.
Yeah, right. And that the Dead Vaults would definitely be one of those areas, for sure.
Yeah.
So let's see. Maybe you guys can find like an alternate method of travel besides just going on foot.
Well, we've got money.
Got money.
We can also ask Wildman to see if we can borrow some of his stuff.
riding on lions like badasses.
Sounds like fun to
Maybe a
me.
leaper or two.
Maybe take a leaper. There might even be other methods to get there. Just let me know if you guys want to do to look or find out. You could always ask Europa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or one of the children or something.
Could
You
always
there,
talk
child.
to
We're going to
Arby.
punt you, but tell me how we can go.
We could always get Jeb to ask for us.
You don't want to do that.
Find a merchant, see if they have a hauler AI, hitch a ride with them.
You could.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to explain why a merchant would be going to the dead vaults unless they were looking.
Bringing supplies to help fix the vaults.
Maybe, or if they were going there to scavenge supplies.
Or they could just be heading to or Samsara, and we could hitch a ride along the way.
Yeah.
So I mean, we could hitch a ride most of the way there, and then walk the rest of the way.
There's also Irbil and Kabadi as well. They're smaller, but there's definitely some settlements up in there as well
Mm-hmm.
that are past the dead vaults.
Yeah.
So that would be something to do in the morning, as most people are probably going to sleep right about now.
Fair enough.
So we've got an actionable plan. We just need to finish up getting the rest of our resources squared away for the trip. We have a vague idea of what we're going to encounter there and what the difficulties might be.
I definitely say talking to Europa would probably be a good point, because if there are any merchants heading towards any of the vaults, heading even close to it, she would probably know.
Well, Europa's available pretty much 24/7, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Just
mean,
have to talk to the buildings.
Well, if we want to answer, we need to head for her.
not necessarily. I mean, Europa would be able to communicate with us outside of being in direct contact.
Yeah, she could probably you could probably call her on your comms now.
That might not be a terrible idea.
I suppose it depends on how you look at it. Are you concerned about her seeing everything on your stab tracker?
She knows that we have to keep up appearances.
Yeah.
Again, at this point, we're all double agents now.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I don't think it'd be a bad idea.
Plus, we could explain to Europa the fact that we've got some of the Roadbreakers laying off. That should build more goodwill, too.
That's a very good point.
Who do we want to call her, though?
I could do
And
it.
do we want to do that, or do we want to let her find the openings herself? Because if we tell her we're laying off, then she could think that might be part of something. Whereas if she just finds bits, she might think that's a mistake.
Why don't we just get up a little early and talk to her in the morning?
That sounds like a good plan of action. That way we're well rested, we've got all our mental faculties together, and we can sleep on the idea. Better
Then
prepare our
what
minds for that kind of conversation.
And then what bits
Yeah.
we want her to have, we can give her, and what bits we don't want her to have, we can keep.
Yeah.
After acquiring the couch, I've got a decent amount of memory points, so I could probably win an interaction like that to make Europa see what I want her to see in my mind.
This just in: man wins role-playing game.
All right. So the plan is to get some good rest, wake up in the morning, and start working on some of this stuff.
That's the idea.
All right. You guys all have your own private quarters. Remember that. Here, so you guys have all your own rooms. Are we feeling safe enough here to not put people on watch, for example?
I'm still going to sleep on my couch in the common room because while we might be relatively safe, I'm not leaving it to any chance. My guy's a light sleeper, so
Okay.
Narcissa is a very light sleeper as well, so if anybody was to like enter her room anyway, she'd wake up.
Yeah, I have alert as one of my memories, so
Okay. All right. Everyone's a light sleeper and very vigilant.
Pretty much.
Kinda
Everybody's
have-
fucking paranoid.
considering my
have to
character
be.
was tortured for like ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a light sleeper.
Yeah. Fair enough.
No, my ass is out. Too much hookah and banana for me. I'm fucking out.
Jeb wakes up, he's handcuffed to the bed.
man sleeps like a champ.
All right.
Jeb get banana.
So,
How many bananas you got left? You've been keeping count?
8.
He's just gonna buy more.
Forgot.
He is.
You're goddamn
We'll have to leave
right.
before the vendors get out.
yeah, are you guys
So
gonna
he runs out.
are you gonna purchase extra food to take with you just in case?
We ought to, yeah. Travel ration.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Like some rations, yeah.
Yeah.
Might be smart. Some water, just some clean water, just in case, kind of thing.
Yes.
No, it's perfectly safe to drink the water anywhere.
You ain't gonna get snatched up by the mermaids.
No,
Marmalade.
never. Those exist.
I'm just keep in mind that the dead vaults you did see were reservoirs at one point, so probably
We
Water-
have guns.
water-inclined environment is all I'm saying. Like when they say reservoir, they mean water reservoir. So
I mean, assumedly.
it could be like oil too. It could be like oil and stuff. There are oil reservoirs and things like
I'm
that.
gonna buy a boat.
But
You hear Narcissa grumbling about how she doesn't have a lab where she can get a mermaid.
yeah. Well, the mermaids.
That has the same energy as like the little kid complaining, "Why can't I have a puppy?"
Yeah.
I should buy a boat.
Why can't I have an incredibly highly evolved predator with neurotoxin as a pet?
She's been
Takes
wanting
her.
one for years.
All right. You guys go to
It's
sleep.
been good. I haven't killed anybody in weeks.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you need to up those numbers.
Violence, man. Incredible violence.
Uh, all right, so you guys go to sleep. During the night, nothing happens. Nobody attacks you guys. Nobody breaks in.
Unsurprised.
Yeah, you guys all sleep well. If you're missing body steps, mind steps, anything like that, you recover 1.
Sadly, I'm not.
Were any of you wounded
Yeah.
still?
From what?
I don't remember. Somebody was wounded. It might have been the other group. I can't remember.
I think it was the other group.
No, it was the other group. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You guys wake up in the morning. The lights are starting to come on.
In the
The
morning
equivalent-
when I step outside.
yeah. The equivalent
Does
of
Jebs
sunrise.
still only smell the hookah?
The smell of
Have the mask on all night.
the smell of the hookah still lingers in the apartment common room.
Oh, it smells like pineapple.
Damn it, Jeb.
I'm not putting that one mask on.
Unless Jeb cleaned it, it's still got like banana smeared all over it. We can definitely tell which one's Jeb's.
That was mine. I will personally carve my name into that one.
Okay, that's a
You
great.
can't. You don't know how to write.
I didn't think about that. I would imagine I know how to do 3 fucking letters.
All right, fine. Carving letters into your gas mask that is made to seal to your face so that
It's not
air
like I'm
can.
deeply carving into it. I'm just
Yeah. Okay. All right. Just,
But since I don't know how to read, instead of a J, I'm gonna do a G. So it's just
Gib.
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 all right.
GIF.
Sure.
But of course, like everybody is like, good job.
My name is Gib.
Progress.
I'm just over here like, you fucking idiot. That's not how you spell your name.
yeah, it is. It's J-E-B. Duh.
You wrote.
Narcissa over here is like, shh.
I can't handle you sometimes.
Just to
I think
make it
he's
work, I'm gonna
right.
do
Just
the
hush.
D to a D.
The club can't even handle him right now.
Good. Good.
All right.
He thinks it's his. Let him be.
So you have
You
your.
know it's not yours. Be happy.
What part of the gas mask do you carve it on? I'm just
I'm
curious.
just gonna do it on the forehead. What is it like? One you just put like on the mouth? Or is it like a full one?
Like the
eyes,
Danish
everything?
special forces one that has like the dangly thing.
I'm surprised he didn't do it on like the glass part where you see out of like dead center.
That's what I was getting at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Nah, it's just gonna be on the forehead.
Okay. All right. You're probably fine. In the plastic
Yes.
proportion of it, sure. Yeah. You've started your
On
decoration.
the forehead.
Now you just need to start getting like stickers, sticking them on there, all that stuff. Okay. So you guys got your gear, your breathing apparatuses ready to go. That's a nice gift, Dank. All right. What do you guys do next?
Pick up supplies on the way to Europa.
Breakfast.
Yeah, we picking up rations and stuff like that, and we're probably
Yeah.
having breakfast.
Yes.
So breakfast, like if you guys want to eat proper food, probably like same price as last night. I think I said like 10 credits each or something. That'd be fine. You guys have loads of money.
Narcissa is finding herself some fucking donuts.
Yeah, there you go. You can definitely get donuts, sweet
Good night.
pastries. There's a lot of that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean they probably have those. Like there's carts that sell them. You could probably get them in different restaurants if you wanted to stop and go in somewhere. Rations, which are packed to last longer. Typically special stuff, like it might be like some dried meat, that kind of thing. They probably come with like a water serving each. Those will be how many days of rations are you wanting to get each?
We get 4 days worth.
Say like not much, not incredibly much. Maybe like 30 credits for 4 days worth.
Narcissa would want to get more than enough, so she'd probably get like a week's worth.
All right. 4 days with 30. We'll say a week is 50 credits. And it's not a super great quality food, so it's a little bit cheaper, right? Than like a just straight up meal would be. It includes water and stuff. So you guys have like little water packets. Maybe they're like in plastic, or you can have like bottles or like a canteen type container for the waters. The food's probably packed in either like metal trays with like a sealed top, kind of like a canned food might be, or it could be packed like MRE style, right, where it's like basically just wrapped in airtight plastic. Maybe some of the stuff you mix with water to eat, I think it's like dried soups, or something like that you'd mix with water and then eat, that kind of thing. I've heard that some MREs are good. I've never tasted one that was.
I've had a few.
Some that aren't too bad.
All right, right on.
The mac and cheese ones aren't bad. But you can't go wrong with mac and cheese.
I think I remember having one because my parents were in the Air Force as a kid, so they would have them as a gag, like, "Hey, try this. You think this is astronaut food? It's like astronaut food. It's pretty cool, right?"
The best one is always going to be the chili mac one.
I remember trying one that was supposed to be like
That sounds
French-
really good.
supposed to be like French
don't like
toast
chili,
or
so.
something, and it was not good.
Like, if you
They
don't
ruined
like,
French toast?
yeah,
How
like
do
they've
you
got
ruin French toast?
so many.
It's
different
hard to do
kinds.
French toast good.
It was just like dehydrated, right? So
Ew.
extra crunchy, dry.
Like the one that you absolutely can't
French
mess up,
toast
though,
crunch.
Yeah,
is the beef ravioli one.
right on.
It's okay. My favorite is the astronaut ice cream, though. But it's not really like a meal.
Okay. Well, you guys pick up your foods. Your dried beef ravioli, or what have you, and what do you guys do next?
Narcissa's gonna offer Dis a donut.
Dis is already eating a very suspicious meat pie.
He's like, what's in this contraption?
Oh no, he doesn't want the donut. He wants the meat pie.
Narcissa's not forcing it on him this time, but it's just more like a bite kind of thing.
No, I don't really like all that sweet stuff.
For yourself.
All right, so we would want to continue making our way towards City Hall.
Yep.
All right. Are we going there to talk to Europa?
That
Yeah.
is the plan.
All right. You can certainly do that. As you make your way towards City Hall, you see a few crowds of people making their way into the building to have like their morning conversation with Europa or whatever. Maybe some of these people do this at a specific time every day. That kind of thing. The early morning crowds starting to build up as people have grabbed their street food breakfast and have started making their way to their job, whatever it is they do. Yeah, you probably see a few of the children running around, maybe playing with some of the kids, kicking a ball around or skating around or singing songs or whatever near the city hall like pavilion area. Do you guys just walk in?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's bring you back over to the city hall map. Screen thing, majig. What's this called? And what it is? Europa. Yeah. And you walk in to see a similar scene as last time you were here. People are not sitting in the same place, different people, that kind of thing. But quiet, relaxing environment. Yeah. If you got something you want to talk to Europa about, you can definitely do it here.
Yeah, I would approach and initiate conversation.
All right. What do you say?
Well, we're heading out on that rescue mission.
Glad to hear that. Dank. How was your first night in Nineveh?
It's fantastic. I acquired something I'd been missing for a long time. Strong memories on that couch.
Well, good. I hope those memories bring you some comfort.
Definitely. I was wondering if you knew of anyone heading towards the Dead Vaults, maybe merchant or supply caravan that we could hitch a ride with.
Hmm. Let me check. No, I don't see merchants heading that way on the schedule today, but I think I can make room for you on one of our tram systems.
That'd be greatly appreciated. It's kind of a hazardous place to be in. We'd like to get them out as soon as we can.
Indeed. The system you'll be using travels along the ceilings of the corridors on rails. We established this machine to get supplies out to our outpost there. It will be an expedient trip.
I definitely appreciate you clearing up some room for us. Is there anything else we should watch out for on our way to, recover this person?
There could be threats in the vaults, certainly. Creatures, or even fans of survivors. People that would see you as an opportunity for resources.
Now, if we do encounter these bands of survivors, do you think we'd be able to solve the problem diplomatically, or would we have to resort to force?
Well, I would encourage you to try to solve them diplomatically if possible. But that is not always a viable option.
Understandable.
I will not hold it against you if you were forced to defend yourself or your companions.
We'll try to go the nonviolent route if possible. Life is precious.
Indeed. My sensors detect that the tracks are clear for the time being. But
All right.
it appears inside the vault we've detected swarms of sharktails, which can be dangerous in large numbers. I think this is what has our vagabond trapped.
It shouldn't be too much of a problem. We've got some pretty heavy ordnance we could use to leverage against the indigenous wildlife, if need be.
Understood.
Definitely appreciate the heads up.
I will send you coordinates for a tram terminal.
Yeah, you get another heads up on your stab tracker, and it's like a location at the edge of the vault. And it's it seems like it's up a couple stories, like it's not on ground level. Probably some stairs you'll have to go up or something.
Right.
But yeah, you get a ping for this is where the tram thingy is. And Europa says,
Is there anything else you wanted to ask me about?
Well, we might have something in the works that'll help with expanding your operation in areas that you've been previously thwarted at. We managed to make contact with somebody who has been hindering your operations and have convinced them to ease off for the time being. You might notice you'll be able to help people in the farther reaches significantly easier in the coming cycle.
So, I suppose it turns out that I was correct, that your contact was a Roadbreaker.
Kinda hard to keep everything under wraps. I wouldn't suggest acting on this immediately, but do know that we are working on things.
I appreciate you helping, and I'm sure the lost souls in need of supplies will appreciate it just as much.
That's the goal. Try to ease as much suffering as possible.
Of course.
Well, we better get heading out. Good talk.
Best of luck.
Much appreciated.
Does anybody else want to say anything to Europa?
Narcissa, like as quietly as possible, says like a very quiet good morning.
Good morning to you as well, Narcissa.
I hope you had a pleasant evening.
Of course. And you?
It was eventful. And she's going to start essentially giving her an entire playthrough of what happened last night.
Everything? Like even the parts where you guys were having the scramblers on?
Yep.
Okay, so conversation with Aho and
Especially Aho.
all that stuff about bringing Europa under control.
That would be a terrible idea.
Please don't, because then I would have to kill you.
Well, y'all don't know this.
This is
all
also the
mental.
case.
Are you really wanting to sell yourself and your people out, though?
She's already played that she is pulling from Enki to Europa.
It's going to make things a lot more difficult for the rest of the group in the long run. But,
She's definitely playing the about the Aho wanting to look for that second conversation where he comes up to the
you're going to
the
screw
room.
us over. No.
Well, he wants to forewarn her about them wanting to look for the power lines. That's her main thing.
This is their plan.
Yeah, that's
Please,
They're
God.
trying to find a way to. Yeah, so it's gonna spoil everything. If as far
Yeah,
as
you will ruin all the work that I put in.
because basically their plan is to find a way to control the power source to Europa in order to control Europa, and you're like, hey, just a heads up, they're looking for your power source.
But yes, but okay. So this is the thing. She's saying that she wants to jump ship to Europa. So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is her
Yeah.
character doing the correct thing for her
Yeah.
character. It's just that
Yeah.
yes,
All right.
that is going to make it to where all of our stuff is not working.
I just wanted to make sure you understood. You can totally do that.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Plan.
thank you
I have a bit of a
Or-
plan.
telling me the truth. I must admit, I was already quite aware of Yuki's plan. The power source is currently being relocated and given failsafes. But I'm glad that you were honest. At least it doesn't go unnoticed. And I'm glad to see that I wasn't wrong about you, Narcissa.
This is a big gamble for me, though. I
You
could lose
have-
everything.
You have my word. I will do whatever it takes to keep you safe.
Is there something we could do to make them think they, with the original power lines, to make them think that they find it, though?
A decoy, perhaps. Yes. It might be better to let the Enki believe they have the control they desire. Perhaps it could smooth over their attempts at aggression.
And then you could also potentially, wouldn't that also give you control over their machines?
No, still.
One thing that bothered me was also Aho made the comment that they got the mem tech from you. Is that true?
We developed their prototypes for Nematech from part of my native code. Yes.
So it wasn't something you intentionally created for them.
It wasn't something I intended to be used by them the way that it was. No.
Okay. That puts me at ease, at least.
I have reason to believe that in previous flickers, I was somehow involved in the development of Vagabonds.
Well, if you were, I wouldn't be here if you weren't.
Yes,
I don't think a lot of people would be if you weren't.
yes, I think that Vagabonds were created for a purpose. That they are meant to help all of Nibiru.
Well, I better not take up too much time or they might get suspicious.
Understood. Be careful, Narcissa.
All right.
I have a plan.
Now, I will say, you did just say, I don't want to take a while, but I think recounting the entire day's goings-on would take a while.
Considering it
Am I
was
justified
mental,
in,
you
like,
know?
asking... I think I'm justified in asking you a question of, like,
Considering it's mental, I don't think it would really take like that long though.
You're explaining everything, though, even if it's mental
Even the
or verbal,
conversations,
it's
yeah.
going
think-
to be long.
Yeah, I mean,
I
And
think it's
that's
more like
kind of
flashing up the
sus.
memories kind of thing.
perhaps, yeah.
Well, no, but you can't quite do that with a conversation because that's not really how the human brain works. You would have to go through the entire conversation beat by beat.
I think it's fair to give.
It's
Dis-
more she's doing it while Dank's doing it since she can do multiple conversations kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ah, but Dis
So
is
this
alert.
is also going on
and
while
he
Dank's
knows that you
going.
probably wouldn't need to take that long.
Yeah, like I think it'd be fair to give Dis a chance to think maybe there's
Yeah.
something going on, but I don't know that he would be
Okay.
like able to know exactly.
No, I don't know exactly what's going
Like,
on. I just want to
huh.
make sure that if I ask later on, that it is justified.
Like
Oh,
you're
yeah.
talking to her too, it seems, and you're not telling us what you're talking to her about.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I think that
But
would
it's
be-
not
That's
taking
mostly
Kinda-
what I'm going for, and I'm going to rely on my observations to be like, that's a lie. Don't worry,
Yeah,
I
it's-
also have a plan, and it does not interfere with anybody's. I just wanted to
Yeah.
know things. That's
Yeah.
Dis's
It's just
thing.
thankfully, it's not taking like quite as long as like, because we have to wait for Dank to talk and then we have to wait for me to talk kind of thing, Thankfully in the game it doesn't take quite as long.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of agree with you too that it could be done sort of quick at like the speed of thought. But I think it'd be fair to give Dis a chance to notice. What do you guys think? Like a contested roll? Like,
I
you could
agree
try
with
play,
Yeah.
with that.
play it off.
Yeah.
like
I agree
it's-
with like after it's explained like that.
Okay.
I agree.
Well, let's see. Let's roll and see if he notices.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do observation and alertness.
All right. And then Narcissa, if you
I
got
don't have
anything,
anything.
yeah, anything, nothing. You can. Do you, hey, if hold on. If you have memory points, you can create a skill right now.
And I do perception to notice him noticing.
So okay. this is-
Oh god, my browser ran out of memory. Hold on, it's having to reload.
Yeah. Okay. So like, if you have memory points, you can create it like a deception skill right here.
I could.
And considering that you're wanting to play a character who's like kind of working against the Enki as like a double agent, the crisscross, maybe deception would be a good thing for you to have.
Oh god, please don't
Probably.
make one because I will be forced to fail because I cannot make a memory for this.
Yeah, but
Because
I
it would be
can.
negative.
I can make a memory for this.
But do you have the prerequisite ability to know, hey, this is suspicious?
Just for the
me
giggles, I
see.
won't for this round.
Okay. Right.
I was about to say, if I make a memory for this and I have to beat you, I'm going to have to make a +3 memory, and so I'm going to get a -3 to my shit.
Just because that's not how the character would be, She doesn't think about being super deceptive,
Okay.
Like
Not yet, at least.
she admitted to Aho, yeah, I'm a freaking vagabond. Holy
Oh,
Oh, dang.
shit!
Oh, holy cow! Well, I mean, that was contested, so it doesn't really count, but still, I forgot to hit contested.
Yeah.
But yes, that's all 4s and 3s.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
So it'd be really easy for me to
Okay.
notice him noticing because he'd be like, "Holy shit!"
yeah. Probably. Yeah.
we
You
don't
just like.
freaking
That's an
know
18.
now.
Over tripled me.
So
Oh
here's what happens. so you're trying to play it off like, yeah, I'm just having a normal conversation with Europa. When you turn around, you see Dis staring at you like he's looking through you. Like you're paranoid that he just somehow heard everything or he knows exactly what you're doing because maybe because Europa just told you to be careful or whatever. But I think you go down one mind step because it's just like the shock of like he knows. Like, oh God, I'm caught. Like, you feel like you're kind of caught
I
red-handed.
just immediately sees like a nervous twitch just like go through the whole body, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's
the
just
man is looking into your soul.
yeah, it's just like you're stressed or whatever until the end of the scene.
Do I notice them noticing though?
Can I also go down a mind step?
Yeah, sure, it does.
Yay!
Because you're like, oh no, she's betraying us or whatever. Even though
The question is, does he tell anybody?
you don't know the exact
That's the big question.
Yeah, you don't know the exact circumstances, but you could just
Well,
tell by
here's-
her body language that she's hiding something.
Here's the thing.
I'll tell you right now, I don't
tell
plan on
the
it right
murderous
now.
psychopath of the group.
Yeah.
Oh no, like I wouldn't consider that. My only consideration is like, what does it get me to tell people? And right now, nothing.
Dank, you can roll to see if you pick up on something. Yes. Yeah, yes, you do. Yes.
Oh God, what are you
Also
using with your
want to
modifier?
Use a thing.
Perception.
Jeez.
Oh man. So he's just
I
watching.
would like to create a memory for this.
Oh my God! Everybody!
Okay,
I'm
all right.
good.
All right. What do you what?
But Joe knows Narcissa just threw the damn group under the bus.
What memory are you creating, Liz? You can always write it later if you're not sure, but what skill?
Would it be perception or would it be reading body language?
See, I feel like perception is more like noticing the details in the environment around you, things like traps or, stuff like that.
So Danks might not have actually.
I feel like it would be more, if you're trying to read people, if it's more of like an insight or like reading body language.
Observation, yeah.
Observation, that kind of thing. But I'm sure.
So with
Okay,
Dank,
I'll
it's
go
more
with
he knows that
observation.
there's something going on between them, but he doesn't know what.
He got a 4.
Whereas I kind of know what.
Yeah. He got a 4
Okay.
in his first 3 dice, so even if he didn't have a skill, it would have been a success. So technically, it probably would.
Right. So, but he has more like the information, like she was saying, of like something happened.
Yeah.
But I don't know what.
Yeah.
So I'd like notice her kind of like panic
Yeah. She. Has
and just staring very intently at her.
Yeah. There's something going on there. Yeah. There's a weird interaction you catch between them. All right. So Liz, what?
You were deep in your convo, so you don't quite know what's going on.
But I know it's not good.
You can just tell. I'll have to come up with a memory later, but I thought about something along the lines of like I was standing in the dark shadows watching the people around me and their movements, the way they were looking around, things like that. I'll get more details of it later.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's like a memory of you stalking a target and you're watching them have a conversation from the shadows and like they don't know you're there. And you're just like observing their behavior. We see them lying to the person they're talking to, and we see like you noticing it or something like along those lines. Is it a +1, +2, or +3?
+3.
All right, it's 5 memory points. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we've only got a couple minutes left before Caitlin has to go. What are you guys doing?
You can definitely tell that Liz is clenching her jaw and she is royally pissed. She's not gonna do anything yet, but you can tell she is freaking pissed.
I don't know that anybody can read Diz.
It's fair.
Reading is not really my strong suit.
God damn it.
Narcissa is fast walking out.
She's not hiding it. She's not hiding the fact that she is freaking pissed.
Yeah. So we have some tension building within the
Narcissa
party.
is getting out. She is going to a place where there is more people. She is going to a place where if they are going to get her, there is going.
Yeah, we see you exiting City Hall.
There
into
is
the crowd of people.
going.
Exit stage left, pursued by a bear.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe
But her head is like high. Her head is high. Is like, you know, if they're going to kill me, god damn it, my spine is going to be straight. I am going proud, kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe that's the cliffhanger we end today's session on. It's like this interaction with Europa where it's clear that like tension just springs up in the group. Liz is on to something, Dis is on to something, Narcissa knows that people are on to her. Dank gets a pretty good read on the whole situation. Jeb's kind of clueless.
Jeb's in the background munching on yet another banana.
It's so it's like
He says, "Ooh, banana."
just like it seems like
There is a show, must have food.
yeah. I know. It's like you guys have had a pretty good like partnership so far, as we've seen with this group, and so now all this tension between all you guys just comes out of nowhere.
Just tell me where to go and what to do, and I'll do it.
Maybe that's where we cut to credits. Pick up.
Sounds like a plan. Well, the week after next.
Yeah.
I prepared 5 maps that we did not use today.
You got a backlog for when we do start running again.
I do.
This is also the case, yeah.
I
The
do.
struggle
yeah.
of being a DM.
God, yeah.
Honestly,
At least
getting
you're
stuff
heading
prepared
for
in
them.
advance just makes it easier the next time around.
It does. It does.
It
I'm
does
actually-
until you forgot why you did this, and then you question your old self's sanity.
Yeah, that happens sometimes too.
Happens
And then you
too.
delete them so that way you can get something else loaded up, and then you're
Exactly, and then later on you're like, oh wait, no, I needed that!
Yeah, that's why I never delete. I just save it in case I want to use it for a different thing later. It's like, okay, later, it's like been a year. I'm still using stuff for Forest of Flesh that I made like a year ago. It has
Nice.
like,
happened.
Yeah,
Just never-
stuff in my campaign crops up that happened like 6 or 7 years ago that I still end up using.
Yeah. It happens. Just try not to waste stuff. So if I spend the time making something, I try to keep it somewhere where I can get to it. But anyways, great playing with you guys. As always, you guys have been a laugh riot tonight. Good session. I guess next time we're heading to the Dead Vaults, and we'll see what kind of trouble you guys get into when you get there.
Sounds like a plan.
And,
Yeah.
well, you guys also might be killing each other before you leave, so there's that.
Yeah, there's that.
We'll see what happens there. But good game.
Mori, just know that we are not actually upset with you.
yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
is fine, okay?
We're just disappointed.
Dang it, I was gonna say that!
Maury, just know we're all gonna collectively shove a knife into you. As a
It's
team.
gonna be et tu brute up in this bitch.
Our stab counter gonna go up. Just saying.
Nothing personal, just gains.
Verblin, you hear this? If I don't show up in 2 weeks, you know what happened to me.
Yeah. All right. Well, I love you guys. Guys, thanks for watching. Gerblin, good to see you in the chat. Unrooted. All you guys, good to see you guys here. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be back. Are we going to be doing a show next week or no? Because married, right?
Yeah, getting married Sunday, and I got to switch my shift for Tuesday out for that.
Okay, no problem, man. Well,
Possibly do a game one, but we'll see.
yeah, we could do. It would be a good time to do like the Athrian Pavilion Among Us
Yeah.
game episode
Goose.
or
So
something.
that way,
We be
we
in
can
sus
still,
anyways.
like, technically do the campaign, but also not at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah, just be like a. It can almost be like a not serious, even potentially non-canon episode, depending on what you guys want to do.
Before we all try to kill Narcissa.
Yeah, it could be. yeah, basically. I mean, it could be something that takes place like a little bit beforehand, or something like that. I don't know. We'll see.
Right. Oh, the pavilion or the thing isn't open yet. We'll go to the pavilion.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I guess we'll see next week. Love all you guys. Everybody have a fantastic night, fantastic week. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Take care. Have a great week. Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.